This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Loyal, straight out of Reidsville, North Carolina. Streaming on all platforms. Links below. Check it out now.
I don't love them hoes. I just want me and leave them. Hate when call me bro. I don't trust them. I don't need them.
Do that thumbs up, man. I appreciate you, man. Okay, so let's get right into it. So we got Tekashi dropping tomorrow night. Looks like he got Blac Chyna in his video. She got some money for this video. Obviously, she probably got paid about $5,000-$10,000. If she's taking how much does it cost to call Blac Chyna? $1,000 on FaceTime. She probably charged about 10-20 bands for this video. Smoke Perp and 6ix9ine went back and forth about nothing. You know, it's just like he's just going back and forth with people. Smoke Perp was like, he said something, if Axe sells more than Smoke Perp, I'll be able to put him on a diet. And then Smoke Perp says, but didn't Lil Durk say you offered him $3 million? Oh, sorry. It's like, dude, nobody believes that Lil Durk was paid $3 million. Lil Durk's just doing what he should do. Troll back, get some of this attention for his album. Anyways, we'll see how this album is tomorrow night. Academics played one song off of it on a stream. I checked it out the other day because Academics has been going ham on Rory and Maul from the Joe Budden podcast. I mean, I got to respect it. Academics win. I mean, I like Rory and Maul. I have no problem with them. It was just crazy. The way Academics was going in, I was like, yeah, this is going ham, man. I got to respect it. Joe Budden says he's making the Spotify. So Spotify might be starting. Well, it's not Spotify starting a union. Podcast companies within Spotify might be starting a union. Companies don't want unions to start because it makes your stock drop as well, and the stock is dropping with Spotify. Joe Budden reacts to Spotify making secret moves and posts their stock dropping. He thinks that Joe Budden thinks that him splitting away is making their stock drop. Stop it, Joe. Joe, it's not that big. It's big news, but it's not the biggest thing ever. Joe Rogan is going there, bro. That's like the biggest podcast. A third Spotify-owned podcast company starting a union. So, podcast joins Gimlet Media and Ringer unionization efforts. Now, no, he says, you're crazy until you aren't. Dude. Okay, so why don't you want a company to start a union? Well, you lose all power in the company and you're not making moves based on the company anymore. Workers are making moves, making you move. It's mob rule, okay? And, unions get people to go in and pay union dues because they say they're looking out for you. But it really becomes almost like a gang. Okay, if you don't pay into the union and you don't want to be a part of the union, guess what? Your house might not exist anymore. You might get phone calls. Look up unions. They're not always the best. Okay, here, I'll read off some things. It always makes the stock drop. It becomes strikes may cripple a company. It limits technology, job security as a value. Let's see why employees join them. Why they are bad. There are a lot of disadvantages. It's just corporations are powerful and they have control over almost everything. It acts as a medium of communication amongst the workers. It never works out well. It always tanks a company, and actually they're actually hurting themselves when they hurt the company. If you go on strike to get $1 more an hour, right? Everybody goes on strike, and the company's out of the company could go out of business, and the stock drops. They don't have as much money, and eventually they could go out of business. Unions can put a company out of business because they're looking out. They're not looking out for the company and themselves. For you to keep getting a paycheck, the company has to exist. Collective efforts. The company can get rid of an employee and replace that person if the company is amoral. Then the company may. There are some good things. Let's see. The individual that will do the work at a cheaper rate. If employees join a union, then they will not come to an individual as a group, which will help them become powerful. Here's another thing to think of. You're giving so much money to the union. Usually the people that are the head of a union are super rich. They make the most money. Protecting the rights. There are some good things in the union, but there's a lot of bad stuff. You know, it can be good for working conditions, fair supervision, mistreatment. It can, you know, give you a fight against that, but there's probably a better way to go about that. I mean, there are regulations for stuff like that. You can boost your wages up. Disadvantages of unionized workplaces: high wages, strikes, impact on customers, reduced control, human resources, more court battles, additional accounting, majority rule. This is the majority rules. It'll put the company out of business. So people were worried that Spotify will be affected by that. So they sell their stock. They sell their positions. It's not because Joe Budden's leaving Spotify. I like Joe. Joe Budden knows his worth, and I applaud him for making a move and going independent. Okay? Let's see if he really does. I think he really likes being under a big company, though, because they do a lot of the work that he doesn't want to do. Advertising, all that other stuff, right? I mean, he's a lot more popular since he joined Spotify. They invested millions of dollars into marketing him, and in turn, he's gotten deals with Cash App and everything else for his other independent ventures. The problem is, re-signing with Spotify right now, they want a piece of everything, including that. And if I were him, I would just go back to them and be like, hey, listen, I just want the same deal. Or maybe just keep it moving, because you know what? Go to another company that'll reinvest in you. Don't do a huge deal. Just do it for the podcast and keep all your other stuff independent. That's what I would do. But the amount of noise, maybe he's making so much. Maybe it's a strategy. Maybe he's making so much noise, so another company maybe talks to him, and he gets a smaller deal, but keeps everything else independent. Random news: Kanye sat down with Nick Cannon, and they talked about him running for president, and details of his journey through fashion, how he's worth $5 billion, which I doubt. I'm sure he's worth $1 billion. Okay, I'm not doubting him there. But just because he signed with Gap, which is a failing company, doesn't make it worth $5 billion. Gap doesn't even have enough of the company to give to him. It's a power move. And I think he might be able to turn the company around. If they get rid of Banana Republic. See, Old Navy, Banana Republic, and Athletica are under Gap. They need to trim things up and probably keep it more focused on Gap and Old Navy. Old Navy is the only thing that makes money over there. Kanye could probably add a difference to it, but we'll see. It's interesting. It's an interesting move. But it didn't double his net worth. That would be impossible. Doing a deal with Gap and doubling your net worth. No. It's not worth anything. Not right now, but maybe he's projecting that if he turns it around, it'll double his net worth. That's the only thing I can think of. Silento got arrested for going home invasion type situation with very weird. Silento was a big rapper for a while. Was that Whip Your Nene Silento? Or was he something else? Yeah, Whip Your Nene. Music attempts, viral appeal. This was years ago. And he broke into a house. Children, no one was harmed. Didn't take long for the officers to block off the place and got him. Let's see. He popped up in about an hour away from San Fernando Valley, a stranger's home, looking for his girlfriend. So he was losing it. He was wigging out. Anyways, guys, we'll get back into some more news in a minute. This is JordanTower with JT News. I appreciate you guys.